Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Night Sleepover. I'm your host, Charli, and I'm recording this as a backup plan because I just encountered an issue with Riverside, and the episode that I just recorded for my 100th episode, yay! As soon as we got done recording, it uploaded the way that it was supposed to, and then when I went to edit it, it is not showing up as an editable episode. So this is my insurance policy. Maybe it'll be a bonus episode. Maybe it will be its own episode, but I wanted to make sure that I had something as a backup plan if that episode gets lost forever, because we all know that I have the worst luck with Riverside. So I'm doing this one solo. I did have two friends on the other episode that I had recorded, and I had planned with Kayce to do it, and then I was like, let's invite anybody who wants to come because it's the 100th episode and let's do something different. And so my friend Lindsey came too and was on the show with me and Kayce, and it was a lot of fun, and we talked about all kinds of cool stuff. So I hope that episode is not lost forever. But anyway, all of that to say, maybe this will be a bonus episode, maybe this will be the episode, but we'll find out. I had a list of things here, and I just thought I could go ahead and talk about the list of things that I talked about there, and then if you get a double take, then you get a double take with just me. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and try for our episode. So today I had a mild workload at work, and I saw that I had a bunch of my side hustle stuff coming up, and I was like, I better just take a day off. And so I took today off from my day job, and I spent the day this morning. It was actually a pretty lovely morning. I woke up and whatever I wanted to, and I just took my time, and that already feels amazing. But then I just went to a tea house, and I got a flight of tea by myself. And it was a lot of fun because it was I didn't have to be anywhere. I just went. I felt like when we were kids and our parents used to go to, or the old people, I don't even know if it was our parents, but the old people used to go to McDonald's. They probably still do, but they would go to McDonald's and get a cup of coffee and just talk to their friend. That's what I got to do this morning, except for I was the old person, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so lovely. I just talked to the lady that made the tea, and she told me her whole life story, and it was great. And we just talked about living where we live and all the things going on in the community and stuff, and it was so much fun. And I actually really enjoyed having a moment of just going out and doing a thing by myself. And then after that, I just went on a little walk, and then came home and made some lunch, and then now I recorded, and now I'm recording again just in case. But yeah, that was really cool. And then also I had some things that I've got to get off of my list for both planning the conference next month and another thing that I'm excited. I made the announcement before, but I'll make it again, that it's my special 100th episode, and I wanted to tell you all that our manifesting has brought to us, thank you for manifesting a sleepover in real life, because it's a real thing that's probably going to happen this spring. And I'm super excited about it. It is the first thing that I'm taking on planning wise for the new event planning venture I'm going into. And I'm so excited. It's going to probably have a women owned business fair that is going to happen, and then have a sleepover and a dance party, and it's going to be so much fun. That's like kind of the vision of what we've got going, and I'm actually like so excited about it. And so that's another thing that I need to like be working on today. And then I'm like working on both of those projects today. And then I also had recording of the 100th episode, and just like, it is nice to have like time to like dedicate to podcasts, because like I do dedicate time to the podcast, but I was like talking to somebody last night about it, and they were like, how do you find time to do the podcast? And it's like, I called it like when you go to the gym and you first start going to the gym and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to have time for this. And then eventually it just like works its way into your schedule. Well, I've been kind of like on autopilot with it, like worked into my schedule. So to have like a dedicated afternoon to just like work on it is like pretty relieving, because I feel like lately I've just been like crammed into, okay, we're going to get it done, we're going to do this, and I'm going to feel stressed about it. And then once it's posted and ready to go, I'm not stressed about it anymore. But so having today to just like actually put my focus on it has been like really fun. And so like maybe it's like a small taste of what it might be like in the future, maybe one day when I've grown it to be to the point where I don't have to work as many hours in my typical job, and I'll be able to. But also I was talking to my friend about this the other day too, when we were talking about how like once podcasters like go full-time podcasting, it feels like now that's their job, and so that they're like treating it like a job, and instead of like what I like to do, it makes it feel less genuine. Like I feel like my show is like super genuine, and oh my gosh, I sound so pretentious. I just heard that come out of my mouth. But I feel like I do like make sure that I don't edit things, or like I leave the embarrassing things in, or I don't necessarily go on trend. I just like do what is going to what feels right in the moment. And by doing all of those things, like I feel like I have built something that I feel proud of, because like I always tell people that my podcast is like, I'm good at two things, telling stories and making friends. And so I started a podcast where I do that because I'm like excited about helping people feel less lonely. Like your brain still does the friend thing, like the community thing, whenever you're listening to a podcast. And that's like what studies have shown, is that like your neurology is like acting like this is a real connection with a human. And so like I have the experience, the skills, the everything to be able to help people with loneliness. And like, why wouldn't I do that? And so I feel like if I were to do something like make this monetized, like it would feel like I was not doing it for just the sake of like ending loneliness. And so that doesn't feel good either. But I don't know, I'm getting in the weeds. I guess that's what you came for. But anyway, so yeah, podcasting, yay. I just feel like I don't know exactly what the future holds for this podcast, but I do love doing it, and I do love like feeling like I've maybe potentially helped somebody or someone, and feeling like they don't have a way to make friends, because making friends as an adult is hard. And so that's like my like elevator pitch or whatever, but it really is how I feel about it. So like I've just been using that as a way to guide. And so it's like taking me down all these really cool places where I get to like plan a sleepover in real life. Like, who thought that I would have been able to do that? If you would have like told me a year ago that me and all of the listeners had manifest this, I would have been like, you're crazy. Like, that didn't actually happen, but it's like actually happening. And I think that that's really cool. Like, just the other day, I went and, like, because I've been getting everything ready to, like, for this event business and, like, the podcast, like, so that I can merchandise things and have a place to, like, put the money and stuff. Like, I went and I got a bank account, and that seems like it felt like it was going to be so hard to do, but I'm so grateful that I did it, because the bank that I went to, I happen to like know people that work there, and everyone that like when I went to go start the account, they were like, oh my gosh, you're doing this? That's so cool. And I just felt like super supported and like, oh my gosh, like I can actually do this. Why was I so nervous to start this in the first place? Like, I've been thinking about this for a year and a half now, being like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? What is, I don't even know. So, like, I have been so nervous about it, and when it's actually happening, I'm like, oh, I why didn't I do this sooner? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, so I did that, and it made me feel like a baller. And so it, like, if there's something that you're like nervous about, like, and you've been thinking about it, like, figure out what is holding you back, because on the other side of that is most likely just like what you've been waiting for a long time. And I learned that through this process, and it's been really empowering to be like, yeah, I made a thing and I'm doing a thing. And even though it's just a side hustle, it's still really cool. I'm like, I'm founding a media company, an event company, and like I'm doing this thing on my own. Like, I built this with my own self, you know, like, I don't know, I have support from people, so I don't want to like feel like I'm belittling that in any way, but I do like feel some sense of accomplishment of being like, wow, I'm doing the thing that other people like that I was so nervous about for so long, and like I felt like was never going to be me accomplishing something, and now I feel like I'm accomplishing it, and that's really cool. The other thing that I had on my list to discuss is Love is Blind, which I didn't actually discuss that in the other one. So I watched this season, and I was excited for DC because, like, obviously, I just came from DC, like, last week, and I, like, grew up there, and I have a lot of, like, formative experiences in DC. And, like, so I expected, like, I was a single person in DC, so I expected, like, a little bit different of an experience, like, consuming this season of Love is Blind. But right now, I feel like nobody's going to get married. And, like, I kind of don't care that nobody's going to get married. And I'm like, is this the end of Love is Blind? Like, what is happening? So there's that. I have not, the marriage episode just dropped, but I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know who gets married and who doesn't. But right now I'm like, I don't really care if any of you guys get married. So there's that. But also, like, since it came up DC, like, I also have been working on my article. I need to spend some more time on it today. That was another reason why I took time off, is because I've been, like, avoiding it and being scared of it, even though, like, it's coming out really well. And I'm probably, like, I'm like 4 pages into it now, and I'm like, it's hard to know how long it should be, because the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to, like, show myself that I can write this book, and I am good at writing. So, like, I'm trying to write something that is gonna help me feel like I can get into that space. And it's coming out like really cool so far. Maybe I will click through and see if I can like read a section of it. Let me go pull it up really quick. But okay, what is a good section to read for everyone? Here's one that I just started picking up on. It said, I slowly learned that in order to find another way of living, I'd have to seek it out myself. I see this as an adult. This pattern still plays out in the form of, fine, I'll do it myself moments. The upside of nobody checking on a feral child is that the feral child is free to roam. And I wandered. My hometown is ideal for wandering. It is small geographically and in population, and it's a peninsula on the Potomac River. Some days the air was so dense that you couldn't see land on the other side, so it almost felt like we were somewhere in the ocean. Our house is a block from the boardwalk riverfront. Due to a dispute of state lines and fee collection, the river is technically Maryland and the shore is Virginia, so no fishing license is required to fish from the shore or on a pier. I could take a fishing rod and head down to the beach as long as my jobs were done. I soon found my way into different businesses to check the mail at my mom's work, and eventually I wandered into the library. I was greeted by a warm hello from a community-loving librarian. Anyway, so it goes on to talk about other things, but I thought maybe might as well share a little piece of it. It's not done yet, for sure. I haven't even like let anybody else really read it as like a editor from an editing standpoint. So I feel like there's got to be things to gone through, but I feel like it's going to be really good, and it's going to be kind of like a love letter to my hometown and the people that helped me grow up and find safety in growing up, and also like describes the environment that I grew up into. So that's kind of exciting. I think it'll be pretty compelling and people will like it. I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe once it's written, like sending it off somewhere to like a magazine or something, and because I'm gonna have pictures that go with it as well. At least that's the plan right now. I don't know, to maybe send it to some kind of publication and see if there's anybody that might be interested in it, because like it'll be an interesting take and an interesting story, and you all know I love to tell a story, so that will be kind of the idea of what I was hoping to do with it. And then maybe like, but in finding some kind of publication that might be interested in it, like those people might I might get the validation that I need to like be like, okay, I can do this, I can write this book, because I'm just so nervous about writing it and I don't know why. But yeah. So if you know of anyone that is interested in publishing a article of that nature, reach out to me. Let me know, because I am just going to do a Google search to figure it out. I don't actually know what I'm doing with that. So if anybody has any wisdom or guidance, let me know. Maybe I'll do like a reading of the article to like publish it on the podcast as like an episode as well. That's an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that. I need to write that down. Okay, so I am just really grateful that I've made it to 100 episodes, and I feel really excited that I'm in this phase right now. It's been a journey and it's been a learning experience, and I feel like I've been able to grow quite a bit just from having this podcast. So thank you for being a listener, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm glad that we've made it to 100. So if you are interested in coming on the show or anything, let me know. And if you have those articles, let me know. And we have the podcast conference in Arkansas coming up next month. If you want, the tickets are available on Eventbrite on the Arkansas Podcast Collaborative website. So you should definitely go, because it's for anybody who's like making any kind of content and to engage with other people that are making content and in this space. And so I recommend going to that. I think that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy 100 episodes. Love you. Bye.